If this machine isn't mesmerizing to watch, I don't know what is. These machines are designed to build, alter, and manage roadways, and they're actually pretty amazing to watch. Here are the top 15 most amazing road machines. Number 15. Roadside Milling Machine. One of the most difficult things in the maintenance of roads is the damage that can be caused by grass and other greenery that grows on the edge of the tarmac. It can cause the road's surface to fray and severely limits the amount of water that can run off during stormy weather. The solution to this is a roadside milling machine, and one of the most effective designs is called the verger. It has an adjustable cutting tool that digs into the soil next to the road and removes the top layer. The debris is loaded directly into the truck by a conveyor and leaves a smooth, flat surface behind. Previously, this would have been hard manual work, but with this machine, it can be done in an instant, and even cuts at an angle to further encourage water to flow away from the driving surface. Number 14. Personal road. Roads lead to just about anywhere, but what do you do if you want to travel somewhere that hasn't yet got a level piece of tarmac that leads you to it? You could go off-road, or you could instead bring your own personal road with you. That's exactly what Fawn Trackway Road Kit allows you to do, which is essentially a set of rollers with a temporary metal road surface coiled into it. When you need to use it, it will slowly unfurl the road in front of the wheels, which drive along it. Once the road is fully unraveled, all you need to do is swivel the machine around, pick the road back up, and then you can start all over again. Number 13. Rolling barriers. The biggest threat to road safety is when, for one reason or another, drivers lose control of their vehicles and veer towards the edge of the road. This risks them driving into the path of oncoming traffic or falling off an edge. So usually the best means of confronting this problem is the installation of tough roadside barriers. The problem, though, is getting the balance right between them providing a strong resistance to slow a car down and being too rigid that's essentially the same as hitting a solid wall. There's a variety of designs to do this, but one of the newest is the idea of a rolling barrier. Instead of being made up of steel strips, it's instead made up of a series of urethane rollers. They've been used in a number of roads around the world and have been found to help to effectively reduce the speed of a vehicle and help it to rebalance so the driver can regain control. They've been proven to reduce the severity of accidents, and, cost permitting, are likely to be seen in many road developments of the future. Number 12. Solar highways. If you've ever touched the surface of a road during hot weather, you'll be more than familiar with how much of the sun's heat is absorbed by the asphalt. But what if there was a way to harness this energy into something more useful? Several companies have now begun to develop technologies that will allow the placement of solar panels within the road structure, and they provide a number of potential benefits over traditional road surfaces. Importantly, they remain tough enough for heavy vehicles to pass over, but at the same time they can generate energy to power street lighting and signs, aren't so susceptible to potholes, and are able to retain heat that can be used to melt ice or snow, and could even be used to charge the batteries in electric cars while they're driving. Prototype roads like these have already been installed in China and France, and if it proves to work in a cost-efficient way, we could soon see them around the rest of the world too. Number 11. Automatic road marking. Road markings are vital to tell drivers where their lanes are, and any hazards or rules that they need to be aware of. But the process of painting them onto the asphalt can be a time-consuming and error-prone process. There are countless examples around the world of where the lines aren't exactly straight or where someone has lost concentration and painted it wrong. But with an automatic road marking machine, these problems are a thing of the past. As you can see, a guideline had already been marked along the street, and this machine is following it with a laser sight that extends from the front of the vehicle. All it needs now to do is spray the paint at predefined intervals, and long stretches of road can be covered in minutes. The operator's job on this machine is to simply keep watch to make sure it's performing as expected and look out for any obstacles in the road ahead. Number 10. Driverless road sweeper. With so many vehicles and pedestrians that use them every day, roads can soon become full of garbage that clogs up drains and poses obstacles for drivers. There's a limit to how much cover can be provided by traditional road sweepers because of the human resource that's required to operate them. But a company in China has begun to introduce a new concept road sweeper, one that's completely autonomous. The fully electric vehicles are able to track and avoid obstacles in their way while they clean the streets, and more than 100 are currently in operation across the country. Without the need for a driver, they can be smaller and more compact, which means they don't disrupt other road users as much and can make more precise maneuvers. They also prove to be an ideal testbed for the future of vehicle automation because they drive at relatively slow speeds and people are instinctually used to avoiding road sweepers. The risk of an accident is therefore far lower than any other type of automated vehicle, and the data that's gathered will be used to help design the software needed to enable the creation of a wider range of self-driving cars. Number 9. Pothole Repairer of the Future. One of the problems with roads that cause the greatest discomfort and annoyance for drivers, as well as the largest repair bills for local authorities, are potholes. The difficulty is they can be time-consuming and expensive to fix, and often require sections of road to be closed for quite some time while maintenance is being performed. This may not be the case for much longer though, because a new concept for a pothole repairer shows how much simpler things can be. This machine drives up to the problematic piece of asphalt, and an operator uses a laser sight to mark the area that needs to be processed. Everything from this point on is automated. The machine mills around the piece that needs to be repaired, and then grinds the surface down around the pothole to create a defined shape. A suction device removes all of the debris, then a pre-made plug is removed and placed in position. The plug heats up and expands to form a solid connection with the road around it, and the repair is complete. The cost of doing this is far less than resurfacing the section of the road, and amazingly, it can be done in just 10 minutes, allowing the road to go back into use in virtually no time. Before we move on, be sure to subscribe to Top 5s with notifications on. Number 8. Road Stud Drilling. Road studs, which were originally called cat's eyes when they were developed in the UK in 1934, are an ingenious invention that reflects light back from a car's headlights in the dark and allows drivers to know their exact position on the road. Countries around the world use them in various capacities, but have you ever wondered how they're installed in the asphalt in the first place? It isn't simply a case of setting them in it when it's being laid down in the first place, but instead, a specialized machine is used. It drives up to the designated spot and then uses a heavy drill to carefully cut out a precisely shaped hole in the road. The cat's eye itself is mounted within a steel casing and slots neatly into the hole that has been formed. All that remains is the need to add some extra adhesive to make sure that it stays firmly in place, and the job is complete. Before the design of these drills, however, this work was done entirely by hand, something that was extremely time-consuming and was hard physical labor. Number 7. Road Milling Machine. With potentially tens of thousands of vehicles passing over them every day, roads are designed to be tough and long-lasting, able to withstand virtually anything that nature or technology can throw at them. Eventually, though, a road will reach the end of its useful lifespan, or it'll simply be decided that it's no longer needed at all, and that's when a road milling machine is needed. It's a device that's designed to lift up the entire road and collect the material so it can either be recycled or disposed of. It works by exerting a huge force down onto the asphalt and pulling sliders through the ground beneath it. It essentially peels the road up from the ground, transports it up a conveyor belt, and deposits it in an accompanying truck. It's amazing to watch these machines in action, and as an added benefit, they leave a virtually smooth surface behind, which is primed and ready for the construction of a brand new highway. Number 6. The Curb Roller. Have you ever looked at the concrete curves next to a road and wondered how they were made so perfectly smooth and follow the path of the road so precisely? Rather than piecing together pre-made blocks, they're actually custom-made by using a curb roller. These hydraulically driven machines use rotating drums to smooth and flatten the wet cement, and reduce construction time by at least 50% compared to manual methods. They also ensure a uniform appearance across the entire stretch of curb, and can be customized to create any desired shape. All that's needed is the base machine, and the drums can be changed to determine the finish. In most cases, a curb roller can be handled by just one person, meaning other workers can prepare the upcoming stretch, and the entire operation becomes significantly more efficient. Number 5. The ATR Orbiter. The first day that it snows each year can be an exciting time, but it soon becomes a chore if it begins to build up and cover the roads. This leads to treacherous conditions that significantly increase the chances of an accident, so the only option is to somehow remove it. Districts tend to have large plows to push it to the side of the road and scatter salt to prevent it from building up again. But the ATR Orbiter is a great alternative option that's feasible to use on an individual level, or for more intensive uses too. It can traverse any type of terrain, including asphalt, rocks, or sand, and is remote controlled, requiring the operator to be within 500 feet, meaning you don't even have to leave your house to clear all of the snow in your yard or street. With a 7-inch wide track, it can easily clear most obstacles it comes across, such as logs and stones, and its 3.5-foot wide plow can shift large loads of snow at once. Furthermore, it's fully electric and can operate for several hours on one charge, and ensures not only can your property be quickly cleared of snow, but the road can be made safe for all users who won't have to wait for local authorities to remove it for them. Number 4. Porous asphalt. While asphalt has proven to be a great surface for vehicles to drive over because of its ability to withstand heavy loads while retaining a long operational life, it definitely comes with its drawbacks. One of these is when it rains, because instead of being absorbed into the ground, it forms stagnant puddles in areas where there's not enough room for it to run off. This creates slippery road conditions that are particularly dangerous during a storm when visibility can significantly deteriorate. The solution to this is porous asphalt, that simply allows water to seep through it instead of remaining on the surface. The trick to making this work effectively is during the construction of the road, where underneath the driving surface, there's a drainage system that channels the water somewhere else. This usually is as simple as layers of stones of up to 36 inches in depth, which provides plenty of space to drain out and be absorbed into the ground below, or encouraged to flow into a drainage system. You might imagine this comes at the cost of a smooth surface, and while porous asphalt is slightly coarser than normal asphalt, the difference is hardly noticeable. There's also no evidence to suggest that it deteriorates any quicker either, with some that were built in the 1970s still retaining their structure without any need for repaving. It's actually commonly used in parking lots, and in most cases, you'd have no idea that you're driving on a surface that's designed to handle water in this way. Number 3. Infrared asphalt heater. Most people have seen a road being constructed and are more than aware of the vast machinery that's required to heat the asphalt to the correct temperature before it can be laid on the ground. A similar thing has to be done to repair potholes or cracks in the road surface, and this can pose a logistical and safety challenge. Technological developments have, however, provided an alternative with the introduction of infrared asphalt heaters. The devices can be used to remove sections of damaged asphalt and to replace them with new material. The infrared panel is lowered over the piece that needs to be removed, and then radiates heat into it so it begins to liquefy. Once this happens, it's fairly easy to dig up and remove, and the material can even be reused in the repair. To fill the hole, all that's needed is the asphalt material, which is spread across the required space. Again, the infrared device is lowered to heat it up, and when it's reached the right temperature, workers can rake and flatten it into place. The profitability of infrared asphalt heaters means that minor road repairs no longer needs large vehicles, and it's so targeted that the work can be completed in a fraction of the time. Number 2. The RPS6 Road Printer. No matter the material you use, whether it be bricks, asphalt, or cement, the process of building a road is a labor-intensive job that can take a long time to complete. Technological advances have made the process somewhat easier, but the RPS6 road printer, also known as the Tiger Stone, is an absolute game-changer. The 20-foot wide machine is able to pave an entire street, including its edges, in one go. Technically known as a divisible paving machine, it uses gravity to do a lot of the work, and is incredibly simple to use. A front loader deposits the bricks into the hopper of the machine, and bricklayers are responsible for placing them vertically into the Tiger Stone. It then arranges them into the desired pattern, and they are deposited onto the pre-prepared surface over a curved ramp to ensure a smooth delivery. This vehicle moves at 13 feet per minute and self-steers to ensure it's laying the paving straight. All that's then needed is for a steamroller to follow behind to push the bricks securely into the ground, and the road is ready to be used. The RPS6 road printer can be configured to lay paving between 3 and 20 feet wide, and can build 400 yards of road in a single day. It's completely electric powered, as most of the work is actually done by the bricks falling into place. And with very few moving parts, there aren't as many maintenance concerns as with more complex machinery. The only downside is the cost, as it will set you back as much as $90,000. But with the increasing popularity of brick roads, there'll surely be a demand for an efficient machine like this. Number 1. Reactive roads. Road markings are vital to informing the drivers of certain things like the boundaries of the road, where the lanes are, and any particular rules that are in force. But the markings on the road of the future could tell us far more. Known as reactive road markings, there's no limit as to the applications they could be used for. The simplest idea is that the use of photoluminescent paint, which will absorb sunlight during the day and glow at night for up to 10 hours. There's also the option of using temperature reactive paint too, which, for example, can display images of ice crystals on the asphalt when it has become cold enough that the road conditions are likely to be more slippery than usual. Ideas like these, as well as other reactive technologies like automated lighting that only switches on when a car is approaching, small windmill-powered lights that spin and turn on when a car drives past, and lanes with induction loops that can charge batteries as you're driving, have already begun to be installed in some roads in the Netherlands. Based on their success there, it's quite likely that we'll begin to see them used elsewhere very soon. Subscribe to Top 5s for more and check out some of our other popular videos.